Buenos dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it? You already know. I ain't playing today. Like a motherfucker. Like a motherfucking smack addict. I'm old school, homeboy. So trip out. Today, I'm bringing you guys an exclusive premiere, something that came across my plate. And Sasuke, you know the gun. I eat it up. And a menudo style in a direct fashion, as you can tell by that thumbnail right there. Oh, yes, I am the general. We're going to talk about Lencho. We're going to put some facts and some action in place, man. A story's been told. A story's been told for a while. Same story I heard, same story you heard. You know what? I'm not here to dispel any stories. You know what? Hey, sometimes stories travel down the linea, man. They travel down the historia and they get a little mixed up, man. And we can only present you what we got, right? But the homeboy right here got at me and said, hey, wait, hold up, bro. Hold up. Let's get actual and factual. There's more to that story than what we've been presented with that I myself have spoken on, as well as several other channels, man. We're not here to shit on no other channels. Absolutely not. This is the story we all got. Now, here's the real story. Hey, let me introduce the homeboy Little Man from Saho. Okay?
What's up?
Yeah, this is the homeboy Little Man from Saho. We're going to get a little bit into a story, and then we're going to get into the story about one Lencho de Saho. So you give us the rundown, bro. What'd you get incarcerated for? Let them know how much time you did.
Oh, I did 18 years, man. 18 years, 17 days. I've been out 5 years now. Straight and narrow. You know what I mean? Gave back that number, truck driving, and just doing the family thing, man. You know, just staying out the way, man. You know,
life is lovely, bro. Life is lovely.
Oh yeah, man. Loving life, man. Love my freedom, and hell, man, that's all I can say. Love my freedom, man. You know, I had 2 baby boys. You know, and that's just what I live for now. You know what I mean? That's that's my cause now. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, bro.
So I did 18 years. I caught a case. Actually, I did 18 months, got out, and then went back for 18 years. You know what I mean? So I did like a little turnaround, little level 3 salon or something like that. Got out, went to Modesto, right? Functioned out there for a little bit, you know what I mean, for about 5 months. Within that 5 months, I was running around out there. I had caught a murder. I mean, I had killed somebody, but they weren't looking for me yet. But I was absconding, so I'm running around Modesto, running around with the homies, whatever. And I get pulled over. I get stopped. We get stopped, man. And I tried to give him a fake name. Wasn't happening. They take me in. I never got out after that, man. They took me in, and I was just doing a violation, 60 days to the house. And I'm thinking I'm going home. All of a sudden, IGI at the door. I'm talking about cuff up. We got some detectives here. And I was in Solano, man. I was in the hole, man. And they pretty much took me out, man, to the visiting area and pretty much just read me my rights and arrested me, man, And so I took a deal. For I don't know, like 13 years, and you know how it is. You go in there, you catch time. I caught cases. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a little bit about how I got busted. You know what I mean? Where I got busted at. So, anyways, I just wanted to catch up on the whole Lencho thing. It's not a brag or a boast. It was just I hadn't even heard of it. I never knew, because when I did this to him, this was 2001. He still hadn't reached his level of, you know what I mean? He was a big homie, but he wasn't, you know what I mean? He was still
striving. Yeah, he was still striving.
It wasn't who he was at that time. He wasn't big Lencho yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dumbass Harley. But so what was I saying, brother? Sorry, man.
So you get to you're in Salinas Valley, right? You find yourself in Salinas Valley.
I found myself in Salinas Valley. Yep.
Okay, you're now no longer an active Norteño.
No, I was Salinas Valley active. We were active. I was on CR. Went there active. Got into it. It was real ugly right there. You know what I mean? It was a lot of bad calls. That's 100% facts. You know what I mean? And I just didn't like what was going on in that yard, bro. You know what I mean? I didn't like what was happening, man. So I went to a 50-50 yard, took off on my celly. You know what I mean? Hence I was on CR, took off my celly, ended up in B yard overflow, right? I think it was B, or it was the EOP building. I remember they had like the EOPs like in A or B section, bottom tier or something. They had us, and and B section. You know what I mean? And we at this time, there wasn't like an SOI. It wasn't, you know what I mean? It was just I don't even know what to even call it, bro. We were just rising against them. You know what I mean? We were just, that's just what it was. You know what I mean? So I ended up in the hole, and mine was still active. I get in the hole, and my Sally is a little man from Napa who was also on CR. You know what I mean? I didn't know him because here's another building. We're going with the white boys and lockdown. So you didn't see a lot of the homies that you went to medical or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they stick me in the cell with this guy. We're in the hole, whatever. And his situation was kind of the same thing. I think he took off on his cell. He kind of whatever he did. I don't remember the whole details. 20 years ago, but he was in the hole, and we're Sally's. And at this time, someone shoots a line down the way, and he shot us a care package, man, some books and whatever it was, and his name happened to be Fast Eddie, right?
Yeah, Fast Eddie.
So he introduced himself as Fast Eddie, and we tell him our situation, what's going on, what happened on C-Yard, and he's like, "Look, man, we ain't doing that over here. You can come out here to our yard." You know what I mean? He goes, "In fact, when you go to committee, try to get released to our yard. We're programming. It's me, No, Monster. They had their own little yard. You know what I mean? A little 180 yard, but it's a yard." And I said, "Okay, we'll do that." He goes, "It's good over here." So, we go to committee, and committee wasn't happening at first because at this time you had to sit, bro. You had to integrate and live with somebody for a while. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So initially there was like, no, hell no. You know what I mean? And then I don't know what happened. They granted us, bro. They said, "Okay, you know what? We're gonna release you out there. We're gonna release you out there. Program with the other guys in this section." You know what I mean? And I'm like, cool. So we go to yard program. Fast Eddie's out there. He's trying to pick our brains as far as kind of making jokes about the new flower just to see if I was gonna. You know what I mean? Because I was coming from C-Yard, so I'm pretty sure he was trying to see where I was at with the whole, you know what I mean? And he was like, "Man, what do you think about that name, New Flower, man? That shit sounds funny, man, huh?" And I was like, "I don't know, homie. I don't know what to think about it." You know what I mean? But I already heard about this fucker. You know what I mean? I already knew this New Flower, bro. But I'm playing the dumb role. You know what I mean? I'm just, playing the dumb role, man. Because I don't know nothing. You know what I mean? I don't think nothing of it. And he was like, "Oh, all right, man." And, we continue the program we're back there. And all of a sudden, some dude comes in, right? Comes in and little guy walks in, big old jumpsuit on, man. Walks in all hardcore, man. And who the fuck is this motherfucker, right? He walks in and, we're all up, man. I think we were actually exercising that morning. I think we were all up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, we're programming, bro. We're not no degenerate, alcoholic dope fiends. We're up. You know what I mean? It was bad. At this time, it was bad, bro. And people were there and things about that time. It was bad, bro. It was fucked up. You know what I mean? And so OG walks in. I don't know. I thought he was an OG, so they knew at first. You know what I mean? I didn't pay him no mind. Goes upstairs. I was in cell 112. He was in I think 213. You know what I mean? We could talk to each other in the band, whatever. And right away, Eddie shoots a kite. He goes, "Hey, man, fuck you, man. You know what the fuck that is?" And, I'm like, he runs me down. That's Lencho. That's Lencho Guzman. I knew the name, but I didn't know him. You know what I mean? Yeah. You knew the name, I heard of him. I know the name. Obviously, a lot of people did, I'm like, "Oh, that's him, right?" And he was like, yeah. And so Fast Eddie's the one that came up with the whole, getting him comfortable, knew how to reel him in. You know what I mean? Yeah, so we go to yard, and what happened was, Lencho, we had first got him because he had tobacco and a lighter, bro, and we were trying to get some of that, man. You know what I mean? And he's been stingy with that, man. So we tried to hit him with, a kite about, "Hey, man, any contraband you have or whatever, some old shit." You know what I mean? Yeah. That lighter and that tobacco from him, man, and he wasn't budging, man. And he just got on the vent and just put it out there, bro. He goes, he said something about, "I don't do wheelers, homie. So hear me out. I'm Lencho, and just real cocky, bro. Just an asshole, really. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just a fucking dickhead, right?" So he's getting at me just fucking foul, man. And And I'm like, man, what the fuck? This dude's weird, man. This dude's a J-Cat, man. This dude's fucking mean, right? And so we're playing with him. So now he wants to know who's here, who's in the hole, who's running the hole, right? Mind you, I hadn't even planned even cutting him yet, bro. I wasn't even, we're just playing with him, In fact, they just having fun with this fucker, right? Just twisting his head all up, right? And he goes, so he shoots down, what you call it, what I mean? He goes, get this, send this to, so-and-so down the way. And I want to know who's in here, who's running shit back here. So I think Fast Eddie wrote the wheel up, bro. If I remember correctly. It's been 20 years, bro. It's been a long time. Yeah. I don't know if Fast Eddie wrote it or my Sally wrote it, but I'm pretty sure it was Fast Eddie putting that together, bro, because he was good, bro. He put that shit together and told Lencho that there was an individual by the name of David Garcia, caveman, running the oil back there, right? Who at this time, Fast Eddie had known Lencho had put caveman in the hat. You know what I mean? So he just twisted him up. He goes, yeah, tell him, caveman's back here running shit. So we send it up, man. So he gets on the vent and he's going ballistic on the fucking vent. You know what I mean? I swear on my life, this motherfucker's yelling, man. Shout out fucking little man Napa, bro. Get on this with me, man. He was my son. But so this motherfucker gets on the vent. And he's just telling me, who in the fuck is running this hole? Who? He goes, check this out, little man. You're gonna go out there on me. What do you call me, little man? I had to turn him at that time. I forget what I was using. But anyways, he goes, you're gonna go out there and you're gonna handle that shit. You're gonna handle that. Or you're gonna end up like that motherfucker. That's what he tells me on the vent, right? I'm like, man. So at that time, I said, I'm gonna cut this motherfucker. You know what I mean? I told myself, I'm gonna cut this motherfucker, bro. I'm gonna cut this. Fuck this dude, bro. This dude's a fucking piece of shit, man. This dude's an asshole. You know what I mean? So I go to the yard. I'm kind of mad. I'm like, man, I tell fucking Ed, I'm gonna cut this fool. And he was like, what? You gonna cut? I said, I'm gonna cut this motherfucker, homie. I said, watch. I said, but how can I cut this fool? Remember, Eddie had already been down. He's already a G in this shit. You know what I mean? I'm a youngster, homie. I'm young still. So I'm like, man, how can I cut this motherfucker? So Fast Eddie was like, he put the plan, hey man, to say, because he had been in the hole for a while already. So he knew how it all worked. He goes, bro, he's paroling. They're just gonna open the fucking door. Yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean? I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, bro. He'll just open the door. And the cops, the tower cop, they're cool, bro. Since he's paroling, even though we're in a hole, it was loose. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was loose like that. So, so needless to say, we set up a whole thing, right? We played along with this motherfucker, right? Yeah, that, K-Man was there and I'm going to hit him now. You know what I mean? Yeah. I shoot a kite. We're conversating back and forth, and I'm like, okay, our next yard, I'm gonna hit this motherfucker, right? We're gonna hit Caveman, right? Who doesn't even exist. There's not even there. He goes, all right, little homie, yada 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 yada. So we orchestrated because he paroled. Lencho, this all happened, played out like in about 3-4 days, bro, because he was just courtesy parole. You know what I mean? No parole from the Bay. I forget where he even came from. I don't think it was even the Bay. I think he might have been in San Quentin Hole, and they brought him to Salinas Valley, then paroled. You know what I mean? Something like that, to that nature. But so we played it to a T, man. We're like, look, we got afternoon yard. This fuck pros in the morning. Let's see what we can get. So needless to say, we get the tobacco, we get the lighter, we get, what I mean. He gets over his little shit that he has, and he actually thinks that I'm going to go out there and cut this motherfucker. He's paroling in the morning. He's up. He's happy. He's whistling. He's just talking to me on the vent, man. You know what I mean? Just talking to me on the vent, and but he don't know what's coming. He don't know what's coming, man. And I'm just, he thinks I'm feeding into his shit. I'm with her, act like I'm swinging on his nuts and shit because he like that type of shit. So around 9:00 in the morning, that day he paroles, they said, Guzman, parole. Right? And bullshit you not, man, that fucking tower cop B section popped the fucking door and walked off. You know what I mean? So here comes this little fucker walking down the steps and shit. And if you don't know this guy, bro, it's hard to I know bro. I'm not exaggerating. People hate this motherfucker, bro.
He thought he was the general, huh?
Walks down the fucking stairs, bro. And mind you, at this time, I'm gonna back up a little bit. So mind you, we're orchestrating. We're gonna get fucking Caveman out there who's not there. He gives me the Hoyo, right? Mm-hmm. He gives me the hole. He writes me. He writes a big old kite, bro. Gives me the hole, right? Mm-hmm. This is you, right? He gives me his wife's address, his mom's address. He gives me all this contact, bro, because he wants me to contact him as soon as he paroles and I handle this quote on caveman on the yard and shit. And so now we reeled him in. We got him comfortable. He's thinking, we're gonna, he thinks he's calling shots and we're right. We're gonna go tear some shit up. So he paroles. They call him Guzman. They pop his fucking door. Like I said, the cop walks off. Here comes Lencho down the fucking stairs and shit. And comes to my door and we have a quick conversation. I don't remember about what, you know what I mean? But I did have an envelope with some bullshit in it, right? And I told him, 11 o'clock, I'll be out there, homie. And he was all right, homie. Just as soon as you handle that, fucking get at me. You know what I mean? And then I whispered, I rolled my voice and I was like, hey, man, when is the inspiration being in your presence, big homie, some bullshit like that. And all I seen was his eye, you know what I mean? Because remember, we're not in the hole. We're in an overflow. So you have big gaps on the side of the door still. You know what I'm talking about? In the Hoyo, they block them off, but this is an overflow EOP fucking hole, homie. So the sides of the fucking door are big, you know what I mean? And so I can see his face, little piece of his face. And what I did is I had 2 razor blades and I got about 4 602s, which is a write-up, you know what I mean? Yeah. People that don't know, it's a write-up. If you want a 602 to police, put a complaint in or something. So I got about 4 sheets and I folded them to about the length and the width of a ruler. You know what I mean? It was like a ruler. It's really hard. You know what I mean? If you roll paper right and fold it tight, it's gonna be hard. There's a couple of them. So I have my little stick and I got my 2 razor blades and I use the strings from my sock, put my razor blades on there. And when he came to the door and I fed him, when we were talking, that's when I got him. I just said, yeah. Right down his face, right? It wasn't a bloody murder. It wasn't, it didn't even bleed at first. He kind of walked away. Then it started this, like, okay, I got it. I got his punk ass. But true to his passion, man, he stayed solid. He looked at me, bro, and told me, you fucked up. That's exactly what he said. I mean, fuck you, you fucked up. And turned around and stormed out. And so this is how the New Flower, name comes involved is because I don't want to know if Eddie yelled it out or somebody yelled it out. You know what I mean? Nueva Flor. Or might have been my salad. Somebody did it. You know what I mean? But my salad wasn't New Flower either. You know what I mean? But he was trying. I remember Eddie was saying that they were going to do that. You know what I mean? They were going to yell that out or whatever. And I didn't give a shit. You know what I mean? I wasn't a New Flower. I didn't give a shit, bro. You know what I mean? I didn't care. Because at this time, Eddie never claimed to be a New Flower to me. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, we're going to say this out just to throw them off. You know what I mean? But like, whatever, do what you want. I didn't care, bro. You know what I mean? So when I cut him, he stormed off. They started laughing. You know what I mean? Everybody started laughing. You know what I mean? And so that's how the New Flower came in. I guess the story changed. I don't know. I seen it in the book, and they didn't say too much. And I heard your story, and I was like, well, you know what? Let me send the homie a message and tell him what really happened. You know what I mean? It had nothing to do with New Flower or anything like that, man. I was never a New Flower. I was never any of that. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what it was, bro? Was Eddie's a very well-known person. Fast Eddie, we're talking about from Nueva Flor, one of the founders of Nueva Flor, along with Norma from Sacra, several other individuals. So over the years, that story's been passed down because it's a fact. And Lencho, I guess, got out to Sanjo where he was approached by some individual, because he was still functioning, where he told people that a skinhead hit him and this and that, and he got into it. And his story, he was ashamed, Holmes, that some non-actors had got at him. Yeah. But, I mean, you guys played him out of fight. You utilized the dummy role and played him. You know what I mean?
Right.
But anything I ever heard about Lencho, bro, was a tyrant, bro, a bandito, a tyrant, and just treated homeboys like shit. You know what I mean?
Bro, my first meetings and dealings with this motherfucker were just, you know what I mean? And I was already done. I already, got off. You know what I mean? I'm already done. I was just like, man, this motherfucker, this motherfucker here. It was just crazy, man. I felt disrespected through the vent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No doubt about it.
I could beat this old man's ass right now. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck,
Yeah, he was high power. So what happens after? So Lencho leaves. You're still there. You go to these group yards. You guys are on a group yard, right?
Yeah, we go to a group yard. So I get a write-up. Look.
Yeah.
So they pull me out. They didn't put anybody else on the tower. It was easy because my salary was, we were both Garcias and we both had K numbers. And we were both R Garcias. He was Raymond Garcia. I was Robert Garcia. So right away, the tower cop was like, nah, he was in fucking front of 112 Garcia's house, bro. He was over there, bro. So right away, fucking, the cops didn't pull me out. They waited for squad to come. You know what I mean? Squad, don't touch nothing. So they come, they pull me out, yada, yada, yada. And when they pull me out, purposely they picked me next to fucking Lencho.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In the cages. He just had a towel to it. Like I said, it wasn't bloody murder. He just had a towel to his fucking face. And he was mad. You know what I mean? You know, you know what I mean? He was just mad, you know. And he put me in the cage right next to him, bro. You know, and I forget what he said, you know what I mean? But I remember I had, you know, remember he gave me all his info, bro. He gave me fucking his mom's address, his lady's address. He gave me everything, bro. So I was like, I know where the fuck you live. I got all your contact, bro. You're fucking lame, you know what I mean? And he didn't like it. You know, he just stopped talking. He didn't bite into my shit, you know what I mean? You know, pretty much I was trying to get him to bite, you know what I mean? You're a fucking lame, man. You got played, boy. You know, and he didn't like, you know, he just stayed quiet. I was like, you know, because he didn't tell. He didn't snitch. You know what I mean? I was fucking blood. He didn't say a goddamn thing, bro. You know what I mean? I think he actually even paroled. You know what I mean? I think he still even went home that day. You know what I mean? He didn't say shit. I didn't say shit. They pulled fast. They didn't all them out. Like, geez, nobody said shit. You know what I mean?
It just happened.
That was it. All I got, bro, was a fucking like a lockup order. You know what I mean? Like a for it, but it didn't go anywhere, bro, because there was no one said shit. You know, no one said nothing, no one seen nothing. You know what I mean? So he leaves, he paroles, whatever, man. I carry on with my journey, you know what I mean? On a different path, obviously, and didn't really, you know, you don't pay that side or, you know,
attention.
Attention. You don't know what's going on and who's got Nas and who's what, and, you know what I mean? So all of a sudden, you know, this is around what 2010 now. Fucking everybody's done. You know what I mean? Seems like, right? So, you know, I'm meeting a lot of guys. I mean, a lot of homies, and everybody's talking about this guy Lencho. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, man, I cut that motherfucker, bro, a long time ago. And they're like, oh, that was you, man. That wasn't fucking you. I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? And some homeboys think I was lying, man. One homie, my friend out here, matter of fact, man, he was like, man, Boxer wrote a book. I mean, he said Fast Eddie did that shit. You know what I mean? But sorry, I'm getting off topic, man. I was smoking and shit, man. And
you're good, brother. You're good.
Interviews and shit, man. But but that was it, man. I never heard anything about it. I never heard, you know, I didn't hear anything until like 10 years later. I guess, you know, his status blew up. You know what I mean? And you know, I guess his head got bigger, which caused a lot of more hatred towards him. So, you know, like I said, I didn't hear at first until, you know, more and more people started coming over, and you know, and it was just bad. And I was like, no, man, I cut that motherfucker. That was me, man. So, you know, it started getting around, you know, to a few people. Now I had nothing to do with New Flowers or anything like that. Homie, I was just a little homie from Song that did that shit. Just didn't like him, you know.
So
it wasn't even that, you know. It wasn't even. You know, it was just funny. It's just a funny story. You know what I mean? You know, it wasn't even, you know.
Well, it's you know, Lencho's very disliked. He's rubbed a lot of people wrong. Of course, he's rubbed Big Box wrong from San Fran. Shout out. Flaco. Just several individuals he's rubbed wrong, bro. It seems like everyone he came across, bro, they looked at him as a tyrant from what he is, bro. He's known in the history as fucking a piece of shit, right? That's just what it is. So, trip out. So, 50-50 yards, man. I kind of want to give the people the rundown, man. I myself did time on the 50-50 yard. When actives would get there on the 50-50 yards, how was it, bro?
When people were in Salinas Valley, man, it was so, because it was just so, I mean, let me tell you something, bro. I was solid in Salinas Valley. I was solid in a motherfucker, bro. I was there for 6 months. I couldn't even get cleared, bro. For 6 fucking months. You know what I mean? My son at that time was Shadow from Fennell Camp, Tulare County, man. You know, we even rode a kite down the way to, what was the homie's name down the way? I forget, from Sac. You know what I mean? You know, volunteering to do a hit. Like, man, send me to the yard. Just send me, homie. I'll go to the hole. I'll get cleared in the hole, bro, because this is just fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, and I remember it was a 115 that they wanted, because they want you to send, at this time, bro, they want to see request forms before you mail them out. It was just, you know, everybody was suspect at this fucking time, bro. It was really weird, man. And my hatred came from where I couldn't get cleared. You know what I mean? You know, I'm raising my hand to go pick up some work, so just get the fuck out of there. and get on, man. I'll get cleared in the hole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hang tight, homie. This, and that. And, I felt, since we're not being cleared, bro, I couldn't have nothing. These motherfuckers gonna give me a radar. They'll put my shampoo and fucking, because it's level 4. You know what I mean? And at this time, people were CR was just crazy. Casper from Half Moon Bay had just pulled up there, wrecked that fucking yard. You know what I mean? It was just crazy, man. Didn't know who to trust. You know what I mean? And let me tell you something, bro. I was for the North there, bro. You know what I mean? I was for that cause at one point in time. You know what I mean? Shit, man. But when you're getting treated like that, bro, you're not getting cleared, and you're just, because you can't get, it was just a 115, bro, about a Pruno write-up. You know what I mean? Because they want every piece of fucking, they want every write-up you ever had. And you got to write records. You know how they do that? Hey, write records, homie, get all your shit, right? So for whatever reason, I didn't get the disposition for the Pruno write-up. You know what I mean? So at this time, remember, we went out with the skinheads. The skinheads had just rushed the homies, I think, on that yard. You know what I mean? On C yard. I got there on a lockdown. You know what I mean? So I get it. It was chaos. Shit was going off. It was crazy. But man, it was like 5 or 6 months, bro. 5 or 6 months, man. My Sally Shadow, he fucking went to the hole, and he got busted with a knife on the yard. It went off, and he took his fucking ass to the hole, and sat there for myself for about a little bit. Then I got another homie. He came in, and my Sally, and I just put tippers on him, bro. Got the fuck out of there. Put tippers on him. You know what I mean? Got the fuck out of there. Like, fuck these homies. You know what I mean? Fuck it. Because at this time, Daddy just hit the homie Spider from Quilas in the next section. Good homeboy. Don't know what the fuck happened with there. I mean, like there was just a lot of, like I said, a lot of bad calls, man, and a lot of good homeboys were getting removed, man, who I thought were solid, who I, just good motherfuckers, man. And and when, like I said, when I went to the 50-50 yard, man, it's more love. It was more cardenalismo. It was, you know what I mean? We're not getting told what the fuck to do. You're not being oppressed. You know what I mean? You're not being, because a lot of those motherfuckers, bro, were bullies, bro. You know what I mean? A lot of those guys in position were bullies, man. You know what I mean? And me, I was never a smart person, homie. You know what I mean? Dumb as, dropped out of 6th grade, man. All I knew how to be was violent. You know what I mean? That was it. I knew how to write good essays. You know what I mean? I get tired of motherfuckers pulling up because, he can write a good essay. I got good verbiage. He's getting positions. You know what I mean? That shit, shit like that would irk me. Like, fuck this clown, bro. I mean, I may be the smartest motherfucker and couldn't write a good ass essay, but I'm putting some fucking work. You know what I mean? No
doubt.
And so that's what happened, man. Basically went to the 50-50 yards, and it was actually I got in more trouble. You know what I mean? It was actually more violent, caught more time. You know what I mean? It's just it's actually it made me think like, damn, man, I should have just stayed because shit. On the active side, there's not too much stuff really be cracking off. You know what I mean?
It's structure. Yeah.
It's a lot of, a lot of structure, bro. A lot of discipline, and nobody really wants war. You know what I mean? But you look at these 50-50 yards, bro. It's just it's a free for all. You know what I mean? It's a free for all. You're like, it's like a fucking YA. I don't know if you've been to YA, but it's like a little fucking YA, bro. A bunch of immature motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
Going at it.
And I got a lot of fucking trouble, bro. A lot of trouble on those fucking yards, bro. You know what I mean? A lot of trouble.
So trip out on this. So if an active Norteño would pull up to a 50-50 yard, what would happen, bro?
They'd have the option to either program with us, you know what I mean? Program with us or get smashed on. You know what I mean? That was because they was going to get smashed on. 85-90% of people stayed, bro. You know what I mean? They stayed. Because most people just didn't want to politic. They wanted just to program and fucking do their time. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. They're still, we're still getting down with Southsiders and that type of shit. We're just not. We refuse to be under that fucking blanket of politics. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
That's how I felt. Like, fuck you. I'm good, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there was no ratting, no snitching, anything like that. You know what I mean? Remember, this was not S and Y. You know what I mean? No. This was you put in some work, smashed. Cops already know where to pitch you. Okay, put them on BR. You know what I'm saying? Send them to high desert because they already knew you had to snitch, bro. You had to fucking rat. You get off and they sent you where they sent you. You know what I mean? or some just actually volunteered. I want a program over there, and they did it that way as well. You know what I mean? But like I said, man, it felt good to kind of do what you want, and not be oppressed and bullied, and bullied and shit, and at the same time, it's a lot more headaches, man. It's a lot more violent. It's a lot more
chaos. Yep.
A lot more. It's chaos, man. I want to say it's chaotic, man. It's chaotic.
Yeah, so trip out with all this with the end of hostilities. You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
The end of hostility. What do you think about that? Is that something you thought you would ever see?
Never. But I mean,
it's a good thing. I think.
I think it's a good thing, man. It's a good thing, But I don't know much about it, man. But are those reasons? Are they sincere about it, or is it just okay? They're integrating.
It's been going on now for about 8 or 9 years, bro. And I think if the plot formulated, to get the big homies and whoever out from the back, the shoes, the indeterminates,
right?
But they're coexisting on these yardas, bro, and everything's good. But right now, what you got going on, of course, is they're integrating, bro. They're integrating SNY yards and active yards together, bro. Right. So how do you think that's going to play out right there?
I would say it's going to be ugly, man. I mean, because how can I explain this way? 50-50 yards, whatever you want to call them, dropout yards, whatever you want to call them, man. People are like, oh, these kids, these youngsters coming in and hit a fucking main line, they pussy ass, but what you fail to realize, man, it's a new generation, man. They just don't give a fuck. No disrespect to SAC, man, but a lot of SAC youngsters, man, they come in there, bro, and they're just not with that shit. You know what I mean? They're just not with that shit, man. I don't give a fuck about that shit, homie. Fuck, call me what you want. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And they come to the yards and straight killers, straight maniacs. You know what I mean? And you'd be like, man, homie, why don't you just go fucking to the main line, bro, and we'll do that shit. You know what I mean? You acting crazy as fuck. Nah, man, and do what? Get told what to do. You know what I mean? That cause don't mean nothing to me, bro. I have no, so and that's what these actors are gonna deal with, man. And they're not dealing with pussy, you're just dealing with people that just don't have no morals and just don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Don't give a fuck about you or your cause. They just don't give a fuck. Call them rats, call them they don't care. You know what I mean? They don't care.
Yeah.
And that's what they're dealing with, man. And there's a bunch of them. And I mean a bunch of them, bro. Like I've never seen. I'm a little older, you know what I mean. I'm 44, but I've never seen so many just small little melees, little 10 on 10s. You know what I mean? All the fucking time, bro. You know what I mean? And what you feel and realize is too, man, is that there's a lot of carnage, a lot of just people coming from these active yards, bro, that have a hatred because they got done dirty. You know what I mean? So people are learning weaponry in there, bro. It's the same fucking thing. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. They're learning how to roll pieces. They're learning. It's the same shit. You know what I mean? It's the same shit. It's the same. I promise you, it's the same shit, man. You got fucking weirdos walking around. I'm pretty sure you got chomos walking around. You get weird motherfuckers like that. But I promise you, man, it's a known fact, man. They die. You know what I mean? They get fucked up. You know what I mean?
They get whacked, yeah.
They're not in our buildings, bro. These motherfuckers, they keep them in their own buildings, bro, like EOP buildings, and you know what I mean? They're just like we're fucking, chopping up, eating fucking breakfast at the same table with these motthfuckers. You know what I mean? But trust me, these fools get fucked up. You know what I mean? They get fucked up. Everybody else get protected. You know what I mean? They get protected by the staff, man.
You told me you ran into a couple of notable characters. Did you ever run into Snoop from Sakura?
Yeah. Badass Snoop. Yeah.
How was he on the yard, bro? I've heard stories. I've ran into Snoop. But I've heard several stories, bro. What was your impression of him?
My impression of him?
Yeah.
Was my impression of him was just he was just how do you say it, man? What's the word? Impression? Super swagged out, I guess. You know what I mean? He was just, swagged out, man. And my first running with him was I was in the hole, and it was me, Cartoon from Corcoran. I guess he didn't turn to Northern Rider, but wasn't the writer when it was my Sally. He's dead now, but we didn't have a TV, man. I didn't have a TV. I just took off on a cop, right? I was in the hole, and I didn't have a TV, man. Cartoon. We didn't have a TV, man, and so when I first dealing with him was him sending a TV over. You know what I mean? Trying to send a TV over. Trying to look out. On the yard, a lot of people didn't like him because at this time on these 50 yards, there was no gangs, bro. So when these gangs started popping up, like especially 2-5ers started popping up, if they hit the yard, they were getting taken off on right away. You know what I mean? Like right away. Then Snoop hit the yard, and then a lot of them, I guess, because a lot of these guys came from high desert too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. A lot of these that came from high desert, man, but they were just undercover, I guess, or I don't know. But as soon as you get there, all of a sudden they came out, and he kind of ran like a strict program, I guess, man, because he was on the yard, man. He would line his homies up, man, and he would be on them. You know what I mean? About what? I don't know. It was, but that was our program. He would run around, we didn't really pay them much mind. You know what I mean? Because at this point in time, it didn't spread yet. It wasn't as big.
Yeah, it wasn't as big as it is now. Yeah.
It was, bro. It was this, we had a couple homies on the yard. I don't know about anywhere else. I'm saying my experience, in Sat F. There wasn't a lot. I think there was DJ. I forget, bro. But he got there, and I know he wasn't there long. I know that. That's a fact. He wasn't there long. He doesn't last anywhere long, bro. I don't know what he did. Beat someone up, probably. I guess something like that, to that nature, or something. Probably smack somebody around or something. But yeah, that'd be my first impression of him, bro. Was like I don't know, man, like a OG pimp, I guess, man. You know what I mean? I don't know what to call it, man. He's real, all right, homie, all right, man, and respectful. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just
he's just a charismatic,
he's bro. You're not gonna meet anybody else like him. You know what I'm saying? His style now is, some of his, I noticed a lot of his homeboys act like him. His little homies, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then I see, like, okay, you picking up Snoop, you know what I mean? Because that's how, you know what I mean? When I first met, that's how
hey, Fast Ed, let's rewind real quick. So Fast Eddie, so when did you come to find out that Fast Eddie and No were like a couple of the founders of Nueva Flor? Were they pushing it tough? Or?
We had already, look, bro, at this time, we already knew. Me, myself, already knew. We already knew. Yeah. So we just played, I know how to shut up. You know what I mean? We released to the meaning yard with them, and the whole, like I said, he made a joke about, the new flower, like the name was funny or something like that, bro. But I didn't laugh. I didn't give it any reaction. I was like, yeah, I don't know anything about that, homie. And, but I think he was just, checking to see where my head was at that. You know what I mean? But no, I knew about him and No because, they were talked about on CR constantly. You know what I mean? Constantly. Because a lot of it was they were trying to get him hit because a lot of homies from CR, they released them because the 180 time would be up. You know what I'm talking about? I got to go to 270 to B yard. So a lot of homies would go out to B yard to get released, bro, and not even come back. Claiming to come back, wouldn't even come back.
Hey, what do you call it? Fast Eddie, a lot of people don't know, but he had a lot of scars on his body from a lot of battles, bro.
A lot of scars, bro. I seen him up close personal because I played handball with them and shit. And he's got scars, man. He's got scars, bro. He's got scars several times. But he's another one, respectful, bro. Funny than a motherfucker. He'll smile through your bullshit type of dude. You know what I mean? Seems like, he'll smile through your bullshit. You know what I mean? It was an impression I got from him. I guess laced up in all things, man. Manipulation, weaponry. You know what I mean? Everything, I guess, man. Because, like I said, I wouldn't be able to get Lencho if it wasn't for him. That was him. With the wheelers and the manipulation and.
So Lencho didn't know that Eddie was there, huh?
No, he didn't know, bro. No, he didn't even know Eddie was there. Eddie wasn't trying to be seen by him. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Eddie was like, he was. You
Because
know what I mean?
Lencho was only there for a few days on just a courtesy parole, so Lencho, there was no way he could see down the tier.
No, nobody see, man. Nobody see down the tier, man. You know,
you guys played him out of pocket smooth, huh?
Smooth, man. It was funny, man. Like I said, it was funny, man. And like I said, my intentions weren't to cut him, man. I didn't. You know, we were just having fun with him. You know, Eddie, you know, because Eddie wanted to play with them. You know what I mean? That's, you know, that was his idea actually. And I'm like, all right, we'll fuck with them, man. Let's have some fun, whatever. I'm on the event, we'll fish, whatever. You know, but the way he just started talking to me, bro, and I was like, oh fuck this, dude. I'm gonna cut him. You know what I mean? I'm gonna cut this motherfucker. And I remember I told Eddie, I want to cut him, bro. And he's like, yeah, you gonna cut him? No, they're talking. I'm like, man, I want to get this motherfucker, bro. Like, and then we came up with the plan. You know what I mean? The door, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah. I think fucking what's name might even give me a razor, bro. I think fucking Eddie might even give me the razor. You know? Remember, this is 20 years ago. It's a long time ago, bro.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. It's just a trip that this story's been passed down, and I could see where Eddie gets bro. A lot of people say Eddie was here, Eddie did this, and it's just because he's a very dangerous individual, very well known. People, I mean, he was a target for several years. So, I mean, people would automatically assume Eddie did it. You know, they ran with that. But at the end of the day, I myself ran with it, man. So, you know, it is what it is. But it's just good to hear the history, bro, and what really happened, and that you're really the one who hit him.
Right.
Lencho nowadays, bro, he's somewhere on the SMY yard in a wheelchair, fucking mad with no socks. You know, his old lady got him for everything. But hey, you reap what you sow, and it's called karma, bro. It ends up that way, you know.
Reap what you sow, man. You know. But now I'm all about positivity, man. Now I'm just.
That's right, brother.
Family, man. That's it, man. You know. Like I said, it's fucked up what's happening now, man. I skated on that one. Like I said, I got out 5 years ago, man. You know, I definitely would 100% would have been involved in that shit. You know what I mean? You know. Not only as just, you know, just out of fear, because, you know, fear causes you to fucking, you know, strap the fuck up. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's sad, man. It's sad for both sides, man. It's really fucked up, man. Don't sleep on those Zapatistas. I'll tell you guys right now, man. Those motherfuckers better not sleep on those motherfuckers, bro, because they're gonna come out, bro, and they're gonna.
What have you heard about
shit?
Hey, what have you heard about the Zapatistas, bro?
You know what, bro? It was I didn't hear that. I don't even know where it even started, bro. I don't even know. I just know I was in Corcoran, and somebody pulled up, said it was Zapatista, did his thing, got on. And then I started hearing about it. You know what I mean? You know, but they were never deep. It was always, you know, if you hit a yard, it was funny, man. It was like, hey, there's Zapatistas over there, fool. And they always knew they were never just going to last anywhere. You know what I mean? You know, because they've been going at it with the 2-5ers for the fucking longest time. You know what I mean? Yeah. The last place I had been with them was probably High Desert. You know what I mean? There was about 4 of them there, bro, and real tight crew. You know what I mean? Real respectful. They talk to everybody. It's not like you know, they walk around like, you know, jocks or nothing. They talk to everybody. It's respectful, but you can just tell they're a tight-knit group, bro. And I think from what I was told, you know, they don't do fights. It's hitting you or nothing. You know what I mean? That's their
model.
That's how they roll, bro. It ain't gonna be no fist fight unless, you know, you rush them and they had no choice but to fight you. But if they're gonna come get you, it's gonna be with some metal. You know what I mean?
That's true. I've been hearing about them lately.
You know, and these are the youngsters. Remember, telling now these are the youngsters. How people are saying that, oh, you never hit a main line. No, bro, these are them. You know, I ain't saying all of them. I'm saying, you know, but but these are these youngsters that are coming. You know what I mean? You know, this is what they're dealing with, bro. And there's a fucking bunch of them. You know what I mean?
Hey, did you ever have any interactions with
2-5ers? There's so many of those 2-5ers, huh?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them. Have you ever had any interaction with the Bulldogs?
You know what, bro? Bulldogs, nah, man. You know, because Bulldogs always just been separated. You know, shit, bro. They've been separated for so long, bro. You know, they've been sending them to Pleasant Valley and what was it, Corcoran for fucking ever, bro. You know what I mean? But I ran into them in the hole and stuff like that. And they didn't, and actually someone didn't like that program, man. You know, I'll admit something like, you know, they'll say, hey man, I feel like a PC, bro, because they only send us to these 2 fucking yards. You know what I mean? You know, and all we do now on these 2 fucking yards is fight with each other. You know what I mean? You know, they be with each other, bro, because there's no one else to fucking funk with. You know what I mean? But they had just 2 yards. You know what I mean?
Yeah. With that being said, bro, I appreciate your time, brother. I appreciate your time. I know you're a busy man. You know, you worked all day.
Yeah, I got my babies, man.
I see you got that Hardy in the back looking smooth
yeah, man, with that Hardy, right? Man, you know, like I said, hard work, man. You know,
you're living, brother.
And shit, you know, that's it, man. Out the way, man. Family business, man. That's it.
Absolutely, brother. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm glad that you were able to tell your story, clear it up, bro.
Yeah, man. I hope I was cleared up, man. I talk fast and I smoke, and you know, I never did an interview before, so you know.
You're good, my brother. You're good, man. Perfect, man. I appreciate your time, man. With that being said, gente, I hope that you guys move fast with a purpose. I hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, man, bang, bang. We're going to bring it to you, man. Do like the homeboy says, man. Go out there and do for your family, man. You know, or get done by the family. You already know what it is, man. Respects. You know what it is. The gun. Bang, bang. This little man from Soho, man. We highly appreciate his time. Lencho, you are not the general.
Fuck you, Lencho.